So these days, smartphones are ridiculously good at shooting video, as anyone who's unexpectedly and violently shorted at their local discotheque will testify. Because literally 90 seconds later, the gram's already filled with dozens of crispy Ultra HD clips showing your leaky shame from every devastating angle. So with mighty beasts like these lodged in our trousers during every waking moment, what actually is the point of spunking out around $500 on a separate dedicated vlogging camera like this here DJI Osmo Pocket 4? Well, I've been testing out the Osmo Pocket 4 for a couple of weeks now, so here's my full review, comparing it with some of the best smartphones for vlogging right now. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that old notifications bell. Cheers! Now, as far as portable action and vlogging cameras go, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 isn't exactly the most compact. You'll certainly find dinkier alternatives out there, the likes of the Insta360 Go Ultra, for instance, which I already reviewed here on TechSpert. Especially as the actual camera bit can actually be used separately from the rest of it. It can be quite easily strapped to your helmet, slapped on your chest, whatever. Whereas the DJI is certainly not an action cam designed for more everyday vlogging. You know, this thing's hold these as chunky as camcorders of yesteryear. It can actually be squeezed into your pocket just about, although it does leave somewhat of a bulge, which, you know, might be seen as a negative or a positive, depending on your state of mind. Otherwise, once you start slapping on those attachments, then slipping it into your pants becomes even more of a crotchal hazard, especially if you're wearing skinny jeans. If you grab yourself the Creator Combo, well, this comes with quite a few bonus bits that you'll certainly want to bring along with you wherever you go. And mercifully, one of the items you get is a convenient carry bag, which the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 and all of those accessories slip right inside of. But then, of course, you've got this carry bag, which you need to lug around with you wherever you wander. Whereas your humble smartphone, of course, it's always sat there in your pocket, ready to go. Unless you decide to stick on one of those crazy tele-extender lenses, in which case good luck fitting that in your pants without rupturing your prostate. However, while lugging the Osmo Pocket 4 around with you everywhere you go isn't exactly super convenient, I do find that shooting even hours and hours of video on this thing super comfortable thanks to the stick-like design. You can be just wielding this thing like this all day long, don't suffer from any kind of hand cramp or anything. You've got a textured front as well to just add a bit of grip. Whereas phones can be rather awkward to wield, especially if you're shooting in landscape for any sort of length of time. To get a similar shooting experience in terms of comfort, etc. from your smartphone, you're going to have to slap it into one of these whopping great gimbal jobbies. But as you can see, this setup hardly is more convenient than the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 and considerably heftier as well, so I know which one I would prefer. And likewise, if you want to go hands-free when recording, that's easy enough with the Osmo Pocket 4, as long as you spunk out a bit of extra cash on this Creator kit with its handy screw-on tripod. It's a pretty tidy solution, especially when coupled with the various hand gestures and everything, which I'll cover later. And again, only really replicable on your smartphone with something like a gimbal. Unless you happen to spaff a couple of grand on a folding phone, which can be propped up nice and easily. Now, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 sports a dinky 2-inch touchscreen. Now, this is used for pretty much everything from lining up your shots to previewing your footage, and of course fiddling with all of this camera's various settings, be it the hand gesture shenanigans, the gimbal modes. You can customize pretty much every aspect of this camera. It really is rather impressive. One of my only complaints would be that you do have to manually tweak the brightness. You do have a high brightness mode, and on that mode, as you can see there, even with some pretty harsh glare reflecting off that panel, you can still see what's going on, so it can be used for shooting in sunnier climes. Of course, I'm yet to do some vlogging in the Caribbean to really test it out, but it's on my list. However, that display is also rather weeny, so if your eyesight is a bit knackered from years of internet abuse or simply being an old git, you will be better served by a massive smartphone screen. But that said, DJI has done a decent job of making sure that menus are still clearly legible. There's no absolutely weeny text involved here. It's certainly not as bad as trying to squint at a smartwatch, for instance. And I also adore the way that the screen quickly and easily rotates like so. And by rotating it, you can flip between vertical video, as you can see that switches to 3K res, and standard horizontal video. So I can shoot for either TikTok or YouTube with a quick flick. Now, maybe somewhat lacking when it comes to the screen size, but the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 more than makes up for it with its ruddy, massive 1-inch CMOS sensor. Now, only a handful of modern smartphones use a camera sensor this big, the likes of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, for instance. Even the mega expensive OPPO Find X9 Ultra uses a camera sensor that's slightly under 1 inch in size. But I do also find that this Ultra smartphone is one of the best right now for vlogging, so that's what I'm going to use as my test subject side by side with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. Bearing in mind, of course, that the OPPO Find X9 Ultra, not exactly cheap, over twice the price of the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, and that's if you grab the creator combo as well. But of course, this OPPO blower also does other stuff very well, plays games beautifully, and certainly enables you to doom scroll about how absolutely crap everything is at 3 AM. So here's a bit of test footage that I shot during the day. Now, you can actually record up to 8K resolution video on this OPPO smartphone, like a lot of flagships these days. But I'm shooting this here footage at 4K resolution at 60 frames per second to match the DJI. Of course, 8K resolution video, pretty handy if you do a lot of editing and you want to crop into your footage during your edit without losing much of that crispy detail. So the DJI can usually cope with bright backgrounds, keeping your face quite evenly lit, but it does also usually saturate the background. So for instance here, the beautiful blue sky is just rather pale, and a lot of that detail has been lost. And facial tones can also take a hit in strong daylight, so even my pasty white face can look even paler than in real life. Meanwhile, flagship phones like the OPPO Find X9 Ultra can keep your face nice and bright while also successfully capturing that background, be it a bright bold blue sky or other source of illumination. As for your slow motion shenanigans, where you can record 4K video at up to 240 frames per second on the DJI, whereas the OPPO peaks at 120 frames per second. So still good, if not quite as impressive as that pocket camcorder. Now when it comes to night video, well, just recording as is, the DJI automatically enters low light mode, where the frame rate is limited to 30 frames per second, whereas the OPPO can continue to shoot at a higher frame rate. However, gotta say, the Osmo Pocket 4 can capture impressively slick looking night footage. Very little noise creeping in there at all, unlike most phones. Now, when you are shooting low light footage here on your smartphone, you can of course just switch on the flash to illuminate your mug, although this can be rather blinding most of the time. It's not usually adjustable. Whereas if you grab yourself the creator combo of the Osmo Pocket 4, this comes with an adorable wee fill light which just snaps onto the back, immediately switches on, and illuminates your mug without absolutely searing your retinas. And you can fully customize this by diving into those settings. It's right there on page 1. You can switch the fill light on or off. You can have it automatically switch on if the lighting is CAC. And you can also adjust the brightness as well as the temperature. And my Find X9 Ultra footage usually comes out gorgeous using that flash at night, but unfortunately my eyes are absolutely crying at this moment in time, compared with the considerably more comfortable experience shooting on the DJI. Now, of course, one of the big advantages of shooting with a smartphone is you've generally got a wide selection of lenses that you can flip between while you're shooting. Whereas the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 has, of course, but a single lens, although you do get an ultra-wide attachment that you can slap on, which, to be completely honest, has minimal impact. This is with the lens, this is without the lens. So with the lens, without the lens, with the lens, without the lens. I feel like a sodden optician. However, when it comes to zooming, you can only digitally zoom with the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, whereas many flagship phones, including the OPPO and even quite a few mid-range mobiles these days, do boast dedicated telephoto lenses to get closer to the action without losing out on any detail. So the Osmo Pocket 4 can zoom up to the 4x level maximum with lossless quality up to the 2x zoom level. But on the OPPO Find X9 Ultra, for instance, you can just keep on going and still capture some pretty crispy footage. That's particularly handy if you're shooting at a gig, for instance, or getting some video out in nature. And that's before you even consider slapping on one of these almighty truncheons, a tele-extender lens, which allows you to get even closer to the action if needed. However, do bear in mind that when I shot this video, there were a lot of rumors going around that DJI will be launching an Osmo Pocket 4 Pro model, which boasts a pair of lenses, one of which will be a dedicated zoom lens. And one of DJI's big rivals, Insta360, has actually just soft launched its latest handheld camera as well, the Insta360 Lunar, which sports again a dual lens setup, one of those being a dedicated zoom lens. So pretty soon you will be able to grab yourself one of these with a proper bit of telephoto style action. And I have to say that the mechanical stabilisation on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 is excellent. It is pretty good on most mid-range and flagship smartphones these days as well, but if you want this level of super smooth footage, you will again have to invest in one of those gimbals for your smartphone. It's certainly ideal if you're moving and shooting at the same time. And also the face tracking on the DJI is absolutely fantastic. This can lock onto you or another subject, make sure it keeps you or them in frame no matter how much you frantically wave your arm about. And the Osmo Pocket 4 can even learn your face so it doesn't get confused when you're stood in a crowd. And between this and the gesture recognition, it's almost like having your own camera person, although the gesture recognition can be a little bit awkward at times, so it depends on how busy and how bright the background is. Sometimes it takes a little while to actually recognize, so trying to get it to follow me around with a palm gesture. Turn on the old active tracking. As you can see there, it is really struggling at this moment in time. Sometimes you have to be a particular distance away for it to work. There we go, it's finally recognized and now it will follow me about the place absolutely fine, no worries there. And then to start recording, it's a peace gesture, which there you go, it's recognized that immediately. You get a little countdown and then away you go. Now, if you want to color grade your video while editing, well, the good news is the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 can record 10-bit log footage, or D-Log as DJI likes to call it. And likewise, pretty much every premium smartphone these days comes with their own version of log shooting. And as for the audio, well, like most smartphones, the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 has multiple mics built in. You've actually got three, one on the left edge, one on the front, and one on the right edge. But of course, if you are serious about creating the best possible content, you have to really concentrate on the audio as well as the video. So that's why, again, if you grab yourself the Creator Combo, it comes with one of DJI's wireless mics bundled in there. This pairs up quickly and easily, and you'll know you're paired as well because you actually get an audio level appear at the top of the screen here on the Osmo Pocket 4, just for a bit of reassurance that you are connected and it is picking up everything that you're saying. You've got a magnetic clip and a proper actual clip as well, so you can quickly and easily attach to your clothes like so, or like so. And you've also got a couple of big old muffs for dealing with any gusty shenanigans. Just testing out the built-in mics here on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. It's quite blustery out here on the pier, so hopefully those microphones not really picking up too much distortion or windy guff. And now tested out the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 with the wireless mic attached with a bit of the muff to help with that guffy wind. So hopefully picking up my voice nice and clear, no distortion or anything at all. Okay, testing out those built-in mics are quite a noisy. We've got a fans going full pelt. See how well those mics. And now testing out with the external mic attached, again with the noisy background and just seeing how clearly the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 can pick up on my voice. And of course, having a wireless mic means you can get a bit of footage and still actually be heard even when you're stood miles away from the camera. And of course, likewise, most smartphones have multiple built-in mics that can usually record audio pretty well by themselves. But again, if you are serious about your vlog and you want to get an external wireless mic like this one that I'm using right now, usually just slap a USB dongle into your smartphone and then you can start streaming immediately. Just bear in mind that a lot of these do cost around the sort of £100 mark or even more, depending on what brand you go for. So that really starts to ramp up the cost. Now, as far as storage goes, you've actually got built-in internal storage here on the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, which is pretty rare for any kind of sort of action cam or vlogging cam. 107 gigs worth that you can actually use for capturing content. Now, of course, most modern smartphones come with a minimum of 256 gigs of storage. So, again, leaving you plenty of space for shooting lots of high-res video, as long as you don't download whopping great bloody games like Wuthering Waves. However, the Osmo Pocket 4 does have an advantage that most smartphones lack these days, and that is SD card support. So you can actually slip a micro SD memory card in the side here. Now, I've had a 1TB Lexar Silver Plus card stuffed into the DJI Osmo Pocket 4. That's one of the cards the DJI expressly recommends. And as you can see there, this allows me to shoot over 34 hours of 4K 60 frames per second footage on the fly before I even have to begin to worry about, copying off files, deleting old files, etc. etc. If you want a similar experience on a smartphone, micro SD memory card expansion, well, basically your only choice these days is pretty much Sony's Xperia 1 flagship smartphone. And that's an incredibly expensive flagship blower that certainly in recent iterations actually hasn't had a particularly impressive camera setup, sadly. Otherwise, the only other smartphones I've tested recently with micro SD support have been incredibly cheap and budget-friendly blowers, but then the cameras have been rather cack. Of course, another area where the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 isn't quite as impressive as some of its flagship smartphone rivals is the battery life. We've got a 1545 mAh capacity cell stuffed in there. Although this battery life is impacted by other factors as well. For instance, if you've got the fill light slapped on there, that'll drain the battery a wee bit faster. If you're shooting different resolutions as well, that'll impact the battery life. But of course, your smartphone, like the OPPO Find X9 Ultra, can go for hours and hours and hours shooting video. That's thanks to the whopping great 7,000 mAh capacity battery that's shoved in there. Thankfully, the Osmo Pocket 4 does charge up pretty quick as well, about 30 minutes at the plug, and it'll be fully powered up again, good to go. And there you have it, my lovelies. That's what I reckon of the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 after using it for a couple of weeks. And how does it actually stack up to a smartphone? Which one would I rather use for vlogging? Well, a phone is certainly more convenient as a vlogging tool because you've always got it on you. But if you want the same level of stabilisation and hands-free convenience as the Osmo Pocket 4, where you'll need to spunk out an extra couple £100 on a decent gimbal and a wireless mic. Whereas with the Osmo Pocket 4, as long as you spunk out on the Creator combo, you basically get all that stuff and more bundled for just over £500. But of course, the smartphone is a lot more flexible if you get a decent one with proper telephoto lenses, making it certainly a better choice if you shoot a lot of gigs, wildlife footage, stuff like that. Over on my Spare Tool channel, I generally just tend to shoot myself in a lot of bars. A lot, like so many bars. So of the two, certainly the DJI will be the one that suits me best. It'll be the one that I'll certainly be taking on a lot of trips. But anyway, that's what I reckon. What do you guys think of the DJI Osmo Pocket 4? Are you going to hold out for that potential Pro model, or maybe a bit of the Insta360 Luna? Or are you going to simply stick to your humble smartphone for a bit of vlogging? It'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. And have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!